Yo, it's your boy Boss Enosch back again for another video. Hey man, I know we've been gone for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But we back now. You know what I'm saying? A little technical difficulties can't stop the movement. Can't stop the motion, heavy motion, big dookie stupid motions. But yeah though, we finna watch this video that I thought was pretty interesting. It's called What Are We Doing to White People? I seen a couple other YouTube creators reacting to it and speaking on it. I ain't watched too much of it. We finna watch it right now for the first time. We're gonna watch the whole thing in full. Cause it seemed like it might be pretty interesting. What are we doing to white people? I don't know. Let's dive in and see. Alright, so this is the video. What are we doing to white people by Charlie Chion. He dropped this 4 weeks ago, 1 month ago. It's at 2.1 million views, boy. 67,000 comments.
Let's talk about what we're doing to white people. There's been something going on for a while.
What are we doing to white people?
And we're being told not to notice. More to the point, that we're asking white people not only to ignore, but to accept the rising tide of racial hatred against white people. In the past decade, there's
reverse racism? Hold on, sorry. I'm making jokes. Let's keep going.
been a noticeable cultural shift in what constitutes acceptable speech as it relates to white people. Back when I was a kid, in the early 2000s, the mainstream American culture preached about respecting each other's differences and not seeing color. Nowadays, we say that not seeing color is racism, that you must see color. But the more I see how things are unfolding, the more I'm convinced that this is wrong. Back then, things...
To be fair, I don't agree with the, when they would say, oh, I don't see color. I get the sentiment, I get what they're trying to say, but at the same time, it's kind of dumb, because, bro, we see that we're different, bro. We're not inherently different because of our color. We're inherently different because of cultural differences. You dig what I'm saying? So, that's how I don't all the way agree with, I don't see color, because, you know, you can see that I'm black, bro. If you describe me to somebody, you can say, oh, the black dude. If I'm describing you, can say, oh, that Asian dude, or that light-skinned dude, or that white dude. Bro, you see color. It's okay. Just don't fucking discriminate people because of their color.
Something offhanded about white people were seen as not appropriate, just as it would be to say something offhanded about people of any other race. But that soon gave way to our current times, in which there exists virtually no limit to what racial minorities can and do say about white people. I believe this is the natural outgrowth of a perverse ideology that teaches us that every societal ill is the fault of white people, and that whatever prejudice acts we may inflict upon them does not constitute discrimination because we don't have the power to discriminate. And alarmingly...
I've seen that before. Because I actually used to agree with that. Okay? I used to agree with that. People would be like, oh, black people can't be racist because racism is a system, and black people don't have the power to enforce the system of racism. I was like, okay, I get what you're saying. Black people have not been put in the same position as white people, at least the white people up top, to do the same things that they've done to black people. Black people have never had the power to enforce laws against white people. Black people have never had the power to tear down white neighborhoods and build highways or lakes, or just burn them down just because they felt like something happened. You know what I'm saying? Black people have never been the dominant force in society when it came to politics or economics. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the facts, because our foundation has not been the same. But that doesn't mean that a black person can't be racist. A black person can't discriminate. A black person can't be prejudiced. If you say, oh, I hate these fucking white people, I hate these fucking crackers, I mean, okay, you kind of, and you act on it, you know, that's being racist, bruh. You know, it's racism it also means discrimination, not just the system of racism. All right, sorry.
This is particularly pronounced in the younger generation. But is it true? Do we not have the power to discriminate? Well, let's see. First, let's take a look at the racial hatred at the interpersonal level. In today's society, it has become somewhat fashionable to think things and say things about and to white people that would not be acceptable if it was said about any other race. And we're being taught that this double standard is not wrong, that it is rather a form of empowerment. They'll attribute negative experiences that they've had with white people to their whiteness. You had an argument in line at the grocery store with a white person. They were acting entitled because they were white. A white driver cut you off when you were driving. They need to check their white privilege. Your actions, your conduct, and your existence, in other words, boil down to your whiteness. And ashamedly, at one point in time, this was how I used to think as well. And beyond the people in my circle, I noticed that many people of color have this sort of blasé attitude. An attitude most particularly pronounced when there are no other white people around. Things are being said not just behind closed doors, but out in the open. Not just between close friends, but between complete strangers. So here's the thing. This is something that I've experienced countless times, so I know that there are other people who are experiencing it too. I know it must resonate with at least some of you.
That's true though. I remember I used to talk to this girl for a little bit, and like all the time, bruh, she would just say, and this was the first time I met her too. All the time she would talk about how she hate white people. We was at the beach one time and we was walking past some white people, and they didn't even do nothing, bruh. I think they were just laughing. They was just laughing and drinking, having a good time, bro. They didn't do nothing. We all passed her. We walked past them and the girl's like, bro, I hate white people. And listen, I'm not making that shit up, bro. My dog loose with me, bro. That shit was real. I remember looking at him like, yo, like, what's up with this girl, bro? Tell her chill. So I actually understand because I've seen it. That's not the only time I've seen shit like that. And you see it all the time, social media. You see it on Twitter. Yeah, we make jokes. You know what I'm saying? We've always made jokes. White people, you know, jokingly. Just like any comedian making jokes about black people, Hispanic people, Asian people. Make jokes about everybody. No one is safe from jokes, okay? But there is a little bit of a different level. You have to be able to tell the difference between little jokes and little things that's like said out of spite and like, you know, like you're saying that and you're joking, but you mean it for real. You dig what I'm saying? Just like the thing he said, fucking entitled white people. You're entitled because you feel like you're white, so therefore you're entitled because you're white. And it's like, yo, like, what are you talking about, bro? Because there are plenty of white people. Matter of fact, I feel like a majority of white people that are in this country, excuse me, who don't even think about their whiteness, okay? They don't even think about the color of their skin until it's confronted upon them that there's people that's, you know, till someone brings it up type shit. You know what I'm saying? They're not going through life thinking, oh, because I'm white. And that's partially because they really haven't had to, right? As a black person, oftentimes you're going to acknowledge that you're black because of the history of slavery and Jim Crow and black codes, a lot of shit, bro. So, but again, not because they're white.
The difficulty here is that no matter how many anecdotes I share, they are just that, anecdotes.
Right.
And people who refuse to believe that this is happening will just chalk it up to my experiences being a fluke. Or worse yet, they'll say I'm lying. So I've compiled some TikTok videos. I want you to take a look at the things that are being said about white people, especially by the younger generation. The kind of statements people wouldn't dare say about people of any other race.
Okay, let's see.
Take a look.
Let's see if it's just jokes or like something
Ask
crazy.
yourselves, where does this lead to years down the line?
You have a token white, and you're hanging out with your friend group of color.
Yeah, I've never heard token white before. I've heard token black, but not token white. That's funny.
You need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Like, don't just bring them. I might not be in the mood to deal with the other thing. It feeds into their ego. Like, don't let them think they're a good white person.
Accomplices ask, how can they support black and indigenous people of color? And sometimes I really don't know what to say, but here's one easy way. Just don't have babies.
Women can single-handedly cause the white genocide that they are so afraid of. With 2.25 billion Asian women and 500 million white men, baby, it'll only take 2 generations. In 2 generations, there will no longer be any blonde-haired...
These are some things I noticed about white American culture. Being grounded is a punishment to them. That's what they call punishment. The least grounded, least balanced, most destructive race considers being grounded a punishment? Yeah. They also say really violent phrases. They say things like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Why do we have to kill the birds? Why is everything so violent?
Yo. Okay, hey, this is what I hate. You know what I hate the most? Obviously, I hate when people say stupid shit like this. But I hate when it's black women saying stupid shit like this. Okay? Because I feel like people that share these ideologies, and I'm going to make a video talking about this real soon. They target women. They target black women specifically, bro. And they fall victim into saying shit like this because in the moment it sounds like they're right? It sounds like it's correct. Because it appeals to whatever emotion that they feeling. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what are you talking about? First off, the most destructive. Imagine you call a race of people just destructive based off their race. Isn't that the same thing white people would say about black people? Oh, why does if they're 13% of the population, why do they commit 60 or 70% of the crime? Is this something like, I think it's something to do with their race. Okay, Nick Fuentes, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's the same shit they say. And now you're saying it. So what is your end game? What this tells me that y'all motherfuckers need to watch Attack on Titan. Okay, y'all have to watch Attack on Titan so you can see visually in a narrative storytelling sense the cycle of hatred and the consequences of it. Because that's what they doing, bro. You just repeating the same shit that the racist white people, crackles, would say. And don't get mad 'cause I say crackles. I say nigger all the time. Shut up.
One's language and phrases reflects one's nature.
Oh yeah. What the fuck? Kill two birds with one stone. That's so violent. Shut up. So you're taking a phrase, a narrative, figurative metaphor that everyone has said since whenever it fucking was made up, and you're blaming white people for it. Put them headphones back on.
So that
Okay.
new Jeffrey Dahmer movie on Netflix is the perfect example of the sensationalization of white violence. People have a much...
First off, it's a red flag off rip if they looking at the camera and talking like this. Bro, please lower your eyelids, please. They're too wide. Calm down, please. And let's keep going. What sensationalization of white violence? What she said.
easier time sympathizing with white criminals than they do with black victims. And people think these shows are harmless, but they actually contribute to a much bigger issue.
That's a stupid point to make, because how do you even get that data? How do you quantify that? Oh, people watch documentaries, murder documentaries, which is mainly women, by the way, who watch them shits. I don't know if that's facts. That's anecdotal. But women love them shits, though. So, because people like that, you also drew the conclusion that the same people who like Jeffrey Dahmer are the same people who fail to feel anything for black victims. How did you get that? Where did you get that from? How do you know? Because I seen plenty of different people that was watching Jeffrey Dahmer, okay? Mainly women, though.
It contributes to the viewpoint that white people are less violent than everyone else, and white violence is something to be consumed in media, and that's it.
You know how many movies and shows depict black criminals, black drug dealers, Hispanic criminals, Hispanic drug dealers, and they'll be the most popular ones. Fucking Narcos, fucking BMF, what else? Fucking Power, Empire, you know what I'm saying? All the 50 Cent shows, Raising Kanan, they star black people that do bad things, technically illegal things, or they're criminals, whatever, and they're super popular. I don't really watch them too much, because I have other shit to do. But still, you know, it's these arguments can be said for anybody. That's why it's stupid. It's stupid.
Caucasian people and like their inability to like read a fucking room. Like,
so only white people can't read social cues. That's what you're saying. Only white people don't have social intelligence. Is that what you're saying?
y'all act like you don't understand shit because y'all be the first ones during a conversation about the Holocaust to get so mad when black people be like, you do realize that the original Jewish people were black, right? White people do not need to explain to
Okay, I see what's happening here. That's an opinion, first of all. So you can't even say in that context as if it's a fact. That's somebody's opinion. Don't nobody know fucking know for real. Okay, it's a theory.
anybody about us all bleeding red because baby, you all are the people that need to learn that lesson. Clearly history shows that you all are the people that like to pillage and eradicate, enslave and oppress, attempt to suppress greatness because you all simply don't have it.
Listen, bro, I hate when they say that too, because throughout history everybody was fucking violent and pillaging. Every nation, every country was doing that shit. The Asians was doing that. The Arabs was doing that. Black people in Africa was doing that. Like, what the fuck? Did you not watch Woman King? You know what I'm saying? Even in Woman King, they show there's black nations fighting other black nations. That's what happens. That's just humans, bruh. It's humans. Especially barbaric, primal humans. not barbaric, but you know, ancient humans, bruh, back then, bruh. It's about conquest. It's about expanding your territory. That's what everybody was doing. It's not just fucking white people. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? She told me only Europeans was out here conquesting and taking people over, and what? Black people were just in Africa chilling in the villages and in huts, eating grass or something? No, nigga, no. No. No, bruh. No. The thing that I hate about these arguments is that if they flipped it around and said it about black people, we would lose our minds. They would lose their minds. These motherfuckers on TikTok will lose their minds. That's racist. That's racist. And then if they'd be like, "Oh, well, have you seen Chicago? The most violent weekend since 2000." Da, da, da. And it's like, you know,
Here go y'all cum goblins who don't
cum goblin.
By the way,
That's funny.
The Q-tip people are the last ones to ever talk about somebody stealing anything. Y'all wouldn't be in this country had it not been for y'all stealing it. So y'all are more focused on people looting and trying to get necessities and things that they need. And yes, a TV is a fucking necessity. Thank you. You feel like you're...
Oh my god. Yeah. A TV is a fucking necessity. Listen. You already just told me everything I need to hear. I don't even need to hear nothing else from this person, bro. Please. Hey, Charlie. What's his name? Charlie, please. Let's get to the next thing, because I'm getting tired of this shit. Look, I love when they make excuses for people fucking taking advantage of serious situations when people get killed by police, murdered by police, and take advantage of it and go fucking rob somebody's business. A lot of times it's a black-owned business they go and robbing, and you're making excuses for it. Ridiculous, bro. What is these motherfuckers smoking, bro? Y'all niggas smoking crack, nigga. Yeah, they smoking crack, bro.
better than because people are out here stealing and you would never. First of all, if you are a Mayo monster, that is how your ancestors got everything, from stealing. People are
so did ours.
Behavior that's very common among white women. You may have not intended that, but there are many white women who act exactly like you.
If you can find it in your heart this holiday season to donate to the Discriminated White Fund, you'd be helping millions.
Nothing says high protein like cicadas
what?
and cheese.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Make sure you...
And nothing says caucasity like that right there.
What caucasity?
Yeah, I'm glad there are a lot of white people that be making like crazy food things, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I've been seeing some crazy shit from white people on TikTok, bro. hey, but that's crazy though. Who the fuck is eating bugs and mac and cheese?
It looks like roaming Asian grocery stores like it's an amusement park.
What? Niggas can't just fucking look around the store? Oh.
Well, don't wear shoes outdoor, but wear shoes inside.
I ain't gonna lie, I do see a lot of white people that do that walking around barefoot. I ain't gonna lie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like this, like what?
We're both white women. We are inherently a danger in spaces for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color simply by existing.
It's white cis men who are a part of the far right-winged ideology of fascism. That is a true threat and the terrorism to this country.
Look at that person. Don't that person look like a bot? White cis men are a true threat. Like, bro, please. That is a bot. That's a bot in real life. That's crazy. Ew. And back to that lady that just popped up. Remember that one of the first videos I posted was titled "White Man Hates Himself," and that is what I'm seeing more and more of. Okay, a lot of white people just hating themselves because they're white. They feel like because they're white, they did something wrong. They have to pay for the sins of their fathers, if their fathers even committed those sins. You dig what I'm saying? Ew. This is crazy.
If BIPOC stand in the street and scream at the top of their lungs, "I hate all white people. I want all white people to go die. Die, white devil, you cracker bitch." That's still not racism.
You're not one of the good white people. Stop separating us from the bad white people. Don't sit out there in comments and say, we don't claim them. We are them. We are the ones shooting up schools. We are the ones raping people, the ones enslaving people.
And I'll say it. I hate being white. Which means I'm one of the good ones.
White people
That's funny.
are inherently racist.
Yeah.
Can you be racist against white people?
Based off of the definition of racism, yes, but it's not gonna hurt them and hurt their opportunities like it does people of color.
While technically you can, it's not like an issue.
You can't oppress the oppressor.
If it helps you sleep at night, I'm racist to white people. I'm proud of it.
Why do people not understand that you can't be racist to white people? It's impossible. The system is not set up that way. You can insult white people, but it is not racism. Me calling a white person a tub of mayonnaise and a flower-looking ass, that's not racist.
You went all the way to Africa to physically take black people from their homes, shove them in on boats where a lot of them got diseases and died, told them where they could sit on a bus, told them which schools they could go to, which water fountains they could use, which bathrooms they could use, and that's sugarcoating it. Those are just terms. I'm not even describing all the...
But why would you blame white people that were born in the modern present day for that? You know what I mean? That's what I don't get, bro. That's like, let's say, okay, I'm Haitian, right? A lot of Haitians come from West Africa. Like that's the area that they took them from, when they were slaves. Let's say I was in whatever warring country in West Africa, and let's say my country, I don't know too much countries in Africa. I don't know all of them. Like in West Africa, I don't know too many of them. I know a couple, but you know. Let's say my country was in a conflict with another country, and my country won, and we was killing all them people and burning and raping their women and burning the villages down and stuff. And now modern day, that country thinks I'm the problem, even though I was born today. I wasn't born when that shit happened, but they blame me today for the shit that happened back then. Does that make sense? No.
Disgusting things that happen, and they don't even want revenge. They are letting you guys skate by asking for equal rights. That's it. And you're still saying no?
Bro, y'all need to watch Attack on Titan, bro.
They are not as angry as they should be. Y'all are getting off easy, and you're still saying no? Fuck you.
Some people look at that and chalk it up to the grumblings of the powerless. That's the idea that when you have a power disparity, the less powerful sort of has this general society given leeway to complain about the more powerful. The villagers complaining about their king doesn't have the same ring as the king making snide and crude comments about the villagers. But that's not what's going on here. Because although certain segments of our society refuse to believe this, even as evidence mount before our very eyes, in one side of the political aisle, people of color actually have greater power than white people. That is the truth that is not being acknowledged by the people that need to hear it, because this gets in the way of them wielding that power in the way they want, malignantly. I've heard from somewhere that politics is downstream of culture, and I think that is certainly correct. We have a mainstream culture that tells us it's okay to hold prejudiced and hateful view of white people, and our politics is then infused with this energy, and we see active, overt, and on the books racial discrimination of white people that those who are perpetuating this hatred is refusing to see as discrimination.
Let's see an example.
No. This is remediation. These are the same people who are making tenuous arguments that some of our race-neutral laws discriminate against people of color. And this is certainly evidence that in one side of the political aisle, people of color have more power than white people. Because if we didn't have the power, we wouldn't be able to put into place practices and policies that does this. That's what power is. Things like Minneapolis local government agreeing to a contract with the teachers union that says white teachers must be fired first. New York City's government enacting a policy of having white seniors go to the back of the line on life-saving COVID treatment. A college professor that says white people should be killed and facing no repercussions. Cornell University banning white people from rock climbing lessons. One of many instances.
Hold on. Rutgers University, what the fuck is that? Fails to condemn tenured professor who said we got to take these motherfuckers out. I'd like to know what. Who said that? Brittany Cooper? Damn. Imagine somebody saying that about black people, bro. Ugh. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's just not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like you. And I actually had a video planned talking about that. These attitudes towards white people, like just average white person, not a racist white person, not a white supremacist. I'm talking about an average white person that wake up and go to work and take care of their family, bruh. That's it. I'm talking about an average white person. Because all they're doing is feeding hate into these people. Now imagine little kids, and especially men. So white men, right? So imagine and look at all the school shooters, right? And we kind of touched upon this a little bit when we was on Vice, but they shoot away from it real quick. You're feeding all this hatred. You're feeding all this bad energy to young white boys, right? In the midst of this mental health crisis era that we're in. And you see, and then, you get surprised when a lot of these school shooters are white boys. Now, I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming these people that say this stuff for their white people's actions, because for them white school shooters' actions, because again, you make choices, bro. No matter what, you make choices in life. You chose to do something horrendous to people and hurt people, that's on you. But still, you got to think about the environment of how a child grows, because a child isn't born evil. A child isn't born evil. So where do these things that make them do these things come from? You know what I mean? It's something that's worth thinking about. Now, I'm sure plenty of people, like the people in them TikToks, would immediately shut down what the fuck I just said, but like, you got to think about it. I remember too, even in the Parkland shooting, I think, right? Pretty sure it was the Parkland one. One of the girls even admitted, like, oh yeah, we knew he was a weirdo. We used to make fun of him and bully him. Y'all used to bully him? And he came back and shot y'all niggas up? Damn, bruh. And it's so crazy because it'd be the same people that talk about tolerance, the same people that talk about kindness and empathy, all that. But it looks like it only goes one way? I don't know. It's so funny. Because, you know, even though, let's say with that transgender stuff, a lot of that gender stuff, I don't agree with that shit at all. And I think it's kind of crazy. But if I'm talking to one of the people, I'm not going to talk to them no type of way. Even when we was on Vice, after we was done with that panel, we was shaking everybody's hands. We was, chopping up with everybody. Even the dude in the dress, Griffin, even him, I was like, hey, bro, you was talking your talk, bro. I didn't say that. I was just saying it's good to meet you. That's it. And I was giving people Instagram. I didn't say it's talk. I don't agree with what the fuck he was saying. But that nigga was the only one that was like rude to everybody, bro. And it was like brushing people off like he was better than them, bro. He was arrogant. He had an O of arrogance to him. And I was like, bro, everyone is down to earth talking. You don't want to act like you too good to be here. You know what I'm saying? Just because people didn't agree with you. Those are the type of people that have those mindsets that are saying these type of things and think it's 100% okay, bro. Let's keep going. Come on, Charlie.
Rock climbing lessons. One of many instances of liberal colleges doing the utmost.
Damn, that's a lot. Tired of white cis men? Come paint right about it.
Only events equal no whites, but they don't have the guts to say that, even though that is what that is. That's what makes us different than the mere grumblings of the common villager. The villagers have surrounded the palace, demanding Marie Antoinette's head. The power dynamics have shifted. That is a fact. Progressive media outlets do not cover these stories. Some people out there have no idea that this is going on. But worse, some others out there know but agree with what's going on. And for those people to convince themselves that this is not racial discrimination, they play mind tricks and word games.
That's true.
They use phrases and talking points like punching up. You can't be racist to white people. You can't oppress the oppressor, meaning I'm acting oppressively, but I've designated you as the oppressor, so everything goes. Or Ibram X. Kendi's infamous words, the only way to remedy past discrimination is current discrimination. Or when people say things like,
who is that? Abram X.
People is not racism because racism is prejudice plus power, and we don't have the power. They use all this mind-bending apparatus to delude themselves into believing what they're doing faces no moral quandary. But in the back of their minds, perhaps in their subconscious minds, is racial revenge. We experienced it, you experienced it too. See how you like it. That people of color are using our newfound power to act this way and then pretend like none of this is going on leads me to believe that we would have done the same thing that white people did were we to be in their historical position.
Yep, I think so.
Acts have its roots in human nature, not white people nature. And one can only imagine what might happen in the coming decades when the demographics of the US will have shifted such that white people will no longer constitute the majority, when the younger generation you've just seen have graduated from elite schools and hold positions of power in our institutions, our government, corporations, entertainment, news media, and so forth, how they might, in wielding the levers of society, be able to rationalize, using their adult brain, the hatred that was embedded in their minds during their adolescence. What we're seeing is just the beginning. To the white people who are watching, I just want to say, you are not an oppressor for refusing to accept an ideology that teaches people to hate you, that teaches you that you are inherently bad, that your children are inherently bad, that you are inherently racist no matter what you do or how you think, that you need to repent by taking affirmative steps in your life to redress harms that your ancestors may have done, or the racist actions of other white people. In fact, you are not an oppressor, period. You did not choose to be born white, just like any of us did not choose to be born in our race. And to ask of you, at the individual level, for example, to give your life in service of people of color, to be used as physical barriers at protests,
I see that.
to give away your house to black people instead of your children, all actual things that have been publicly demanded of white people, to ask this of you is morally reprehensible collective punishment. You are not under any obligation.
Nah, the only thing that I agree with is that there was a story in, I think it was California. There was land, very the land was expensive, bro. It was worth a lot of money, and it actually belonged to black people, this black family specifically, but it was stolen from them from some racist white people way back then. They couldn't do anything to get it back. They literally stole it. Like, they literally stole it. They marched on there and kicked the motherfuckers out and said, "What you gonna do about it, nigger?" That's real. And shit like that has happened in the past. And so what happened was, I want to find that story again and talk about it. But the people of today, they're like, yo, you know that's wrong. Y'all got to get that shit back to the rightful owners because they had it. You didn't own that shit. They own that shit, okay? Sorry. You can be mad, but you can blame your parents and your grandparents. Your grandparents for that one. So when it's more specific cases like that, okay, you know, it's not the current people's fault. It's the ancestors' fault. But because of their fault, that land is not yours, bruh. It belongs to them. Sorry. So stuff like that, I agree with.
To carry yourself in any sort of way that others demand of you just because of the color of your skin. This, you need to do this and you need to do that because you benefit from privilege thing is bogus. It is just a way for people harboring racial animus to attack you.
So it seems like he's not really going to touch on Hollywood too much, but you see this a lot in Hollywood. Because like he said, these people that have these ideologies are getting into positions of power to push their messaging, okay? That doesn't sound like no power to me. We was just talking about Velma. And what did they do to Fred? Scooby-Doo, the Scooby-Doo gang, all them motherfuckers is white. They changed all their colors because white people is interchangeable. Because the white doesn't matter, we can change them if we want to. But they left Fred. They left Fred as a white dude. But not only is he a white dude, he is an incompetent, stupid, small dick, rich, wealthy, arrogant white dude. And he's the butt of the joke. He's the one that they make fun of the most. Literally for a full, I think 2 episodes, the plot was that Fred is incompetent because he's a rich white kid and has a small dick. So he can't have possibly committed this murder because he's so stupid because he's rich and he's white. What type of shit is that? Okay? You like, come on, be for real. Come on, be for real. In what world do they accept that shit? You know what I'm saying? Ooh.
Say that the accomplishments you've achieved in your life isn't yours, and to silence you. It is not you. It is this ideology that is wrong and perverse. It is one cloaked in a shroud of pseudo-justice and self-righteousness, all the while excreting toxic fumes of racial hatred. It blames all white people for the actions of their ancestors, something you have no control over, while absolving black people of personal responsibility for their own individual actions by holding that black people commit acts of harm, for example, towards another community. That's the fault of white supremacy. White people are controlling them like puppets on a string.
I've seen that. I've seen people say that. I've literally seen people say that in real life and on TikTok all the time.
It's a backwards, transgressive ideology. If you don't harbor any hate in your heart but want to fight it as a matter of principle, this does not make you racist or bigoted. If you refuse to accept their premise in your head but are too afraid to voice your opinion, you're neither a coward nor a bad person. If you're of a liberal bent, but there's a small corner in your brain telling you as you're watching this video that perhaps some of this is wrong.
Emphasis on small. Just kidding.
Listen to your intuition. Maybe you think, oh, I agree with most of what the progressive left teaches about racial justice, but just not with some of this disagreeable stuff, only at the extremes. I'm here to tell you that the rot starts at the core. This racial hatred of white people is a natural outgrowth, part and parcel of an ideology that attempts to indoctrinate us into believing that there is current systemic oppression going on, that all racial disparities we see today is the sole result of oppression by white people, when there are other more plausible explanations to be had that these same people are silencing as impermissible hate speech. They're telling you, shut up, you'll take it, and you'll like it. But contrary to what they're saying, you don't have to take that. You can believe that the things that have been done in the past were morally wrong.
No, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. I'm sorry. It's the drugs, bro. It's the drugs. I don't do no drugs.
Going on is also wrong. That we're going backwards. That this is history rhyming with itself. The table is turning in an eye for an eye manner.
Yeah.
As the great Mahatma Gandhi once said, an eye for an eye will leave the whole world blind. But those driven by hatred would sooner gouge everyone's eyes out than realize that true victory for people of color would have been having history record that when the power dynamics shifted,
we didn't do the same thing as the white
kindness
people.
that their forefathers may not have shown our forefathers. But now, it will say when we gained the power,
we did the same shit that them motherfuckers started doing
to white people. Segregation, social ostracization, hatred sanctioned by government and law. And we're doing all of this while pretending like we're doing something valiant.
Shit.
We've missed our bus.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that there can't be a course correction.
And yeah, the one thing that obviously isn't getting repeated is the super physical, violent aspects of the racism of the past. You know the shit they did, bro. You know that shit they did, bro. I know they would use black babies as gator bait. They would chop our nuts and genital areas off in front of everybody. When they would do a lynching, obviously they would lynch black people. And after lynchings in some of the places, the town of white people would come and watch, and some of them would take body parts as souvenirs. You know what I mean? Like, probably some of those things still exist. Locked in somebody's basement or attic or something. These things are true. These are true vile things that happen here in America. So even though when we talk about this, excuse me, when we talk about this, so when we talk about woke stuff, you gotta understand, it's not that every conversation about racial issues or history is woke nonsense. It's just a history lesson. And those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. It is what it is. You feel me? You have to have that discernment to know if when someone's talking about these issues, if they really are speaking from a place of genuine care or if they're speaking from a place of hatred, okay? And vengeance and spite and pettiness. You think what I'm saying?
So, to some people of color watching who are engaging in this sort of hatred, whether or not you're acutely aware, the same people that act like white people as a collective are not people, but rather some pernicious alien force that has come to invade the earth. With this video, I implore you to ask yourself, what are we doing to white people? As some people love to say, do better.
Damn.
Happy?
That's tough. Do better, Senator. Where's the Falcon? Sam Wilson. Yeah, that's crazy though. But hey man, that's the video. I think that's a very interesting conversation. I'll probably make a video talking about that shit myself. I touched upon a little bit of it earlier, but it's a very interesting thing that I've been thinking about, and I've actually talked to my friends about it before. But hey, this video is long, 40 minutes long, bruh. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. The link to the Discord is in the description below. So go ahead, join the Discord. I need more of y'all to join, and if y'all know how to work Discord like mods and shit, go ahead and hit my line. Y'all got my email, y'all got my social medias. Y'all can DM me, it's okay. And then help me set that up so we can get, community growing and shit like that. And sign up for TubeBuddy. I'm an affiliate, okay? So click that link to download TubeBuddy. And it's good, you see all the tools on YouTube, especially if you're a creator yourself. You can see the views, you can compare videos to other videos. You can do a lot of shit with TubeBuddy, bro. There's a lot of tools in there. But yeah, that's it. Thank you. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.